Buyers think the Orange County market finally cooled off. So now everybody's showing up with lowball offers and asking the sellers, you know what? Why don't you throw in the appliances and TVs as well? And honestly, I kind of get why some buyers think that. Rates are still elevated compared to a few years ago, and affordability has been rough, inventory has been climbing this spring, and every news headline sounds like the housing market is either collapsing tomorrow or secretly becoming the Hunger Games. There's really no middle ground. It's either buy now before civilization ends or wait because prices are going to drop 40%. Meanwhile, most people are still trying to figure out if they can buy a condo without sacrificing their HBO Max subscription. But here's the funny part. The actual Orange County housing market right now is way more nuanced than many people think. And the buyers who understand this shift early are probably going to make much smarter moves over the next few months. Because yes, inventory has been climbing technically. Orange County is sitting at about 4,300 active homes right now, which is up slightly over the past couple of weeks. But the important detail that nobody's talking about is the pace of the increase has slowed down dramatically. In fact, this was one of the smallest inventory rises we've seen for this time period. And that matters, because normally during spring, inventory balloons, sellers flood the market, buyers struggle to keep up, and the whole thing kind of hits an equilibrium somewhere. But this year, demand quietly picked up faster than expected. Almost like buyers collectively looked at rates hovering in the mid-sixes and said like, well, I guess this is just what it is right now. And does that sound familiar to you? Because a year ago, mortgage rates were flirting above 7%, which psychologically hit buyers like seeing the total after ordering DoorDash. You knew the math when you placed the order, but when it got here, that chicken quesadilla now just tastes a little different. Now, rates are lower year over year. Affordability has improved just enough, but now buyers are suddenly coming back into the market. Demand is actually up around 9% compared to the same time last year. And here's where people start getting tripped up. They hear more inventory and assume every seller is desperate. Not even close. The market right now basically has split itself into two completely different worlds. You have the showcase homes, and then you have everything else. The showcase homes are the HGTV looking home properties. Fresh paint, updated kitchen, staged properly with a smart price tag. It's the kind of home where buyers walk in immediately and start mentally placing furniture before they've even left the kitchen. Those homes, they're moving fast. About 52% of all Orange County sales last month sold either at asking price or above asking price. And the homes selling above list, their median market time was 7 days. That's right. So that's basically a work week, a rent fair, and suddenly there are 4 offers on the property. Meanwhile, the homes that need work have deferred maintenance, weird layouts, or the classic we remodeled in 1997 and it will never be the same. Those homes are sitting longer, negotiating more, and usually selling below list. And honestly, that's creating an opportunity for buyers who know how to separate their ego from their strategy. Because a lot of buyers right now are emotionally anchored to the pandemic market. They're expecting every home to require a bidding war, an escalation clause, a handwritten love note, a blood type verification, and all the chaos we saw a few years ago. You see, the psychology of buyers right now is fascinating because everybody wants the perfect turnkey home, but they also want a deal. And unfortunately, those two things usually hate each other. It's like trying to be seated at the best table at a crowded brunch spot while also negotiating your mimosa prices. The leverage disappears the moment everyone else wants the same thing. And this is why buyers who stay flexible are quietly winning right now. Because if you're only targeting the fully renovated homes with designer finishes, perfect staging, and looks like it was assembled in a laboratory specifically for Instagram Reels, well, yeah, you should expect some competition. But if you're willing to buy the house with the ugly paint, the outdated fixtures, the flooring that looks like it survived 3 presidential administrations, suddenly the conversation changes. That's where negotiating and leverage still exists. And honestly, that's probably healthier for the market in the long term anyways. Because during the pandemic, people started treating houses like supreme sneaker drops. Homes would hit the market on Thursday, open house on Saturday, 20 offers on Sunday, and by Monday, everyone who lost the bid war was rage-freshing Zillow like it personally betrayed them. Today's buyers actually have time to think again. And Orange County's expected market time overall is sitting around 77 days. Detached homes are moving faster at 70 days. Attached homes a little slower around 88 days. Now that's nowhere near a crash, but it's also not the chaos we saw a few years ago. It's this weird middle phase where strategy matters again, and honestly, that's good news for prepared buyers. Because the biggest advantage right now isn't trying to predict the market perfectly, it's preparation. The buyers winning right now are usually the ones already talked to a lender, already understand their monthly payment comfort zone and already know what compromises they're willing to make and aren't trying to emotionally process everything in the driveway during the open house. You can literally feel the difference when touring a home. Some buyers walk in prepared, calm, focused, analytical. Others are standing in the kitchen calculating if they can survive off iced coffee and emotional resilience for the next 30 years. And to be fair, Orange County pricing will absolutely make you question your financial identity, if even for a moment. But here's another narrative people keep getting wrong. The luxury market. Everybody online keeps acting like luxury is collapsing because the rich buyers suddenly disappeared into a cave somewhere. But luxury demand actually improved over the past few weeks too. Inventory above 2.5 dipped slightly while demand increased around 11%, pushing the market times across most luxury segments. Now luxury is still slower overall. Homes above 6 million are taking much longer to sell compared to entry-level price points. That's normal. A smaller buyer pool always creates slower movement. But the important part is even luxury buyers are still paying premiums for the homes that feel turnkey and correctly positioned. It's a reoccurring theme that's just everywhere right now. Condition matters, pricing matters, and presentation matters. The lazy strategy of just throw it on the market and see what happens is becoming less effective. And I honestly think that surprises sellers more than buyers. Because a lot of homeowners are still mentally anchored to that one neighbor who sold instantly in 2021 after doing approximately zero prep besides hiding the laundry basket before the showings. Today's buyers are much more payment sensitive, which means they're much more selective, which means flaws stand out faster. That little repair sellers ignored 5 years ago, buyers notice it. The outdated flooring, buyers notice it now. The weird smell in the guest bedroom that nobody wants to talk about, my candle didn't hide that, the buyers notice that immediately. Housing has become psychological again. And the funny part is that most market headlines completely miss this nuance because the nuance doesn't generate clicks, fear does. Crash is coming. That gets attention. Orange County market behaving selectively based on condition, pricing, and affordability improvements doesn't exactly light up the algorithm. So people end up consuming housing news like it's reality TV instead of understanding what's actually happening on the ground. And what's actually happening on the ground is this. Orange County is still undersupplied historically. Demand has quietly improved. Buyers have more options than they did last year. Negotiating leverage exists, but selectively. Turnkey homes are still competitive, and preparation is becoming the separating factor again. That's the real story. It's not panic, it's not euphoria, just a market slowly recalibrating to something more normal. Or at least the Orange County version of normal, which is still mildly insane compared to most of the country. So if you're a buyer watching this trying to figure out your next move, here's probably the simplest advice I can give you. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions usually only exist in hindsight. Instead, focus on your understanding. Your numbers, your comfort level, your timelines, what kind of home actually fits your lifestyle and commute instead of trying to perfectly outsmart the market cycle. Because the buyers who regret decisions aren't always the ones who bought at the wrong time. It's usually the people who froze completely while waiting for the certainty that never came. And meanwhile, somebody else bought the house they're still thinking about 6 months later. Does that mean rush into something? Absolutely not. But does it mean strategy beats emotion right now? Yeah. And honestly, that's probably healthier for everybody. That's today's tour through the chaos we call housing. If you laughed, learned, or both, you know what to do. You stay classy to the next episode.